How's it going, guys? It's Ralph here from Beyond the Hodl, and welcome to this week's altcoin weekly forecast. Today, of course, we're going to be going over the $200,000 trade that we took on Ethereum. If you missed that $300,000 analysis and what I was thinking about the Bitcoin one, make sure to go watch yesterday's video. Of course, I will also be giving a recap on Bitcoin first. Then we'll move on to Ethereum and my reasons for being long currently, and what levels I would have to see get broken to the upside or the downside in order for me to continue to see more upside, more downside, etc. If we have some time, we might cover some altcoins, although I'm not really interested in any of them considering I'm already in some trades. So we'll see how that goes then. Okay, so beginning with Bitcoin here, I'll do a really quick analysis. If you haven't seen yesterday's video, please, and you want to find out more about Bitcoin, then go ahead and take a look at that one. So essentially, as the month closed, we were basically looking to see how the first candle was going to develop, and we were long-term bullish, if you remember, because we closed above our purple zone, which is no longer here anymore, because every single month it changes, and that was around the 36.8 level. So this weekly candle here had closed above it, which meant last week we were looking for buys. And then this month, the new purple zone is right here. And the idea is as long as you stay above that, you're a long-term bull. But then what happened was last week, again, this is a different weekly level because, again, every week it changes. But last week, if you remember, it had hit this, the same red zone was down here before. It went up, slammed into it, went down. And then I thought it was going to keep breaking down to the downside, but then it ended up going straight up. So basically, by the time we crossed back above the monthly open, so we had a decision to make. I could either have bought this daily candle, but we were still below the monthly open, or I could have waited for us to go back above the monthly open. It just so happened to have worked out that way. Had the monthly open been lower, I would have bought this candle right here. So then, we ended up buying somewhere around 41.k and 42.8. So that's around where our average pricing is, and now we're up, a little bit, not a whole lot of like where we're used to, but it's Bitcoin. We're not expecting crazy things because now again, remember I said I'm usually taking trades to expect large moves, but as I mentioned in the video yesterday, what a really interesting time, because what could happen is something like what happened here in September, where you would think you're going to have a retracement at the premium, but it just blows right through it. So if you see right here. And that's kind of why, even though I'm buying here at around 42, 41k, and I'm targeting this, and that's only about a 25% move. So let's see what it was. Yeah, right around here, and the bottom side of the target is only 12. And the top, that's like the best case scenario, that's 30%, right? So it's not that much, because my excuse for not buying down here when we went above the quarterly was for that same exact reason. And also because we hadn't gone above the monthly level that would turn us back long-term bullish, right? So I had to wait for that weekly candle. But, you could have gotten aggressive and bought there. But the point stands, these are not the type of moves I'm looking for. But I got in case that the past repeats, and then we end up just hitting the premium or crushing right through it and then going straight for new all-time highs, 80k, and so on. Let's go on a lower time frame here, and then we can see, so this red zone now, talking about current prices, that's what would keep us, as long as we're prices above that, we stay short-term bullish, right, and long-term bullish. So this is, remember, long-term bullish is above the purple, and this one is short-term bullish. If we go below this, notice how you'll also be going below the weekly open, and that definitely would turn you short-term bearish up until the monthly. Okay, so you could always have a retracement on a weekly to go back into a bullish monthly. That's really important for everyone to understand. And of course, look what we formed here during this retracement that just happened. And while I was making my Bitcoin video earlier, or yesterday, this was being created. So I had to stop. I don't know if you guys noticed that, although I did mention it anyways. But you can see right here. Wait, I put that too low. Yep, right there. So you can see right there, if we go here, we have that zone, so perfect, 78 and 61. I'm not going to draw it out. I just wanted to show you guys that right there was the discount. You can see a 4-hour demand zone right at the weekly open. So we have that retracement back into the 61, and now we're looking for higher prices. So again, as long as we stay here above that red zone, we can be looking for bullish price action in the altcoins, which goes right in perfectly with my Ethereum. So let's go take a look at that one. Okay, guys, so moving on to Ethereum, we'll be taking a look at Ethereum BTC and Ethereum USDT. But first, here are the positions. I bought through ETHB USD. I'm not a big fan of Tether for obvious reasons. But that's a discussion for a different day. So here we got about 73 Ethereums here. And the average price here, you can see 2.8, 2.8, 2.8. So somewhere around the high 2800s, mid 2800s. And essentially, we'll take a look at that in a minute in the USDT price. But the idea was, we spoke about last week that we wanted to see how Ethereum was going to react on the weekly candle at this red zone. Now, the reason we drew that out is the swing high, swing low. And you see how we have this bullish candle. And then we spoke about needing to see some follow through in the next candles. Now, we ended up having some rejection here. And then we wicked right on the quarterly open, right? So you have the confluence of rejection on the quarterly open. So now your quarterly candle is bullish. You have the confluence of the premium getting broken on this candle. And then we thought that was good enough, when this got broken for us to be thinking about a bullish move higher. So what does that mean for Ethereum? So the monthly candle is bullish above the quarterly. So you can see right here the quarterly. So now we're basically just targeting new highs, right? And this is when everything gets really exciting because we have a supply zone here. So if this 3-day supply, you could have combined these. So let's see if there's a better one on the weekly. So I wouldn't have used this one right here. Let's see if there's a better one in the daily. And this is right here where I would have been targeting. So that's our current target right now. And that would be about another 7% move higher. So not too crazy, but if that gets broken, of course, we're going for the all-time high right here. And it's important for you guys to remember that this is the Ethereum against Bitcoin pair. So when this says 7% move higher, I'm not saying ETH USDT is going to move 7%. I'm saying that ETH USDT is going to outperform Bitcoin by 7%. So if Bitcoin goes up 10, 20, 15%, you can bet your ass that Ethereum is going to outperform it by that much. At the same token, if ETH BTC goes higher, but Bitcoin falls, then Ethereum will just fall less than Bitcoin, right? It'll keep more of its gains as prices fall. So another thing I forgot to mention here while I was doing this is, you see this, when you use this as support, we were watching this level very closely to see what was going to happen during this zone. As you can see, the candle broke it, and now you can go swing low, swing high, and that was your discount. So we wanted to see that discount right here hold during this entire zone, and of course this red zone. So right now for ETH BTC, in order to keep seeing Ethereum outperform Bitcoin, we want to stay above the quarterly open and this red zone. Okay, so let's go take a look at ETH USDT. Okay, so finally taking a look at the Ethereum USDT cross pair. Remember, we were expecting it to outperform Bitcoin for the reasons that I said above, and we were expecting it to be bullish because Bitcoin on the weekly had switched back short-term bullish as well, right? So in that case, when you look at Ethereum's levels, I had this zone drawn out, and that was just simply a swing high, a swing low, and that was the premium right there. Now, we had sort of an idea that it could get broken because we were above the quarterly, right? So as you're slamming into this premium, you see how it just slid. It rejected here, so I was really interested in what it was going to do. And of course, you can see right here, when it went down, it got completely invalidated. And that was like the key for me. Okay, cool. We broke the red zone. We're above the quarterly. We're above the monthly. Okay, so everything's lining up beautifully for us to be long. And when you go on a 4-hour, you can see here, then as soon as that happened, you went above the monthly. And then you use the monthly open for a nice discount buy. Now, that's not where we entered. I was not expecting the market to go off that aggressively on that day. I was waiting for the next day to close, and that's what we got the fill at around 28. Yeah, right around here, 28 point something, because I was not expecting this day to be that way. Then I was expecting this to go a little further down, maybe to this 4-hour demand. As you can see, it never hit, and that's why I had a crappy fill, if you want to call it that way. So, that'll happen. Again, you missed the beautiful discount because it happens too fast. You wait for the candle or whatever it may be. And then now you're forced to rush into this one right here. So now basically what we're doing is we're just waiting for these. Again, we have dipped into the premium that is very, very important. Why? Because if you do swing high, swing low, that's the premium that made the all-time high. However, with the way that everything's looking right now, maybe we'll have Ethereum be the one that takes out the high. Now, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, because remember, if Bitcoin peaks at the premium, there's definitely the possibility that Ethereum follows as well. But as we've seen before, Ethereum kind of likes to do its own thing, and we know it's stronger than Bitcoin. So maybe while Bitcoin moves up another 10-15%, if it does do that, then Ethereum will go ahead and take out the all-time high. So that's something to keep in track of. Now, there's a weekly supply right here, and that's another important level. And of course, there's the daily supply, 3-day supply. Yeah, it's a 3-day supply right there. So definitely a lot of resistance here that we're going to have to watch out for, between the zone of 3,000 all the way up to 3,600. So I was already triggered one of my take profit alerts, but because I didn't see any weakness in the Bitcoin pair, in Bitcoin USDT, I'm not going to take profit just yet. But believe me, if I see any weakness, I might just, as Misha likes to call it, secure the bag and get out of my trade. So that's what I'm thinking about Ethereum here, guys. And another cool thing that you guys can take a look at is you can do the index. I call it the Ethereum index. So it's essentially, it's total 2 divided by ETH USDT. So what you're doing is you're comparing the entire altcoin market cap, so you're excluding Bitcoin, and you're comparing it to Ethereum USDT. Essentially, if you look at a quarterly, or I guess a monthly is better. So when you look at the monthly, if this drops, that means that Ethereum is outperforming all the altcoins, right? And that's exactly what's happening for the past 2 months, and well, for the past 4 months, right? And if you look at this right here, exactly when it peaked was, I believe, when Ethereum was just going insane in the market. Now you can see right now, like on the current week, the altcoins are outperforming Ethereum by 1.6%, which again, it's not too surprising that at this zone we're starting to see some support, which means that the altcoins would outperform Ethereum, because we're starting to approach the yearly open right here. That's the blue line, and we're starting to approach our discount right here. Okay, so very important level. I was hoping that we could catch that last bit of Ethereum strength of outperforming the alts. We already know it's going to outperform Bitcoin, likely, if it keeps looking good, but I was hoping I could catch this extra, well, I mean, I sold up here, so somewhere within the previous week's candle. So, I was hoping we could catch a 6 to, 15, 20% outperformance. Or, you know what, it'll just make a brand new low. Who knows? So we'll have to take it level by level. But you can definitely do this and see the strength behind the coin. As you can see right now, in a 4-hour, the altcoin market is starting to lose its strength over Ethereum. So there you have it, guys. That's our position. That's what I'm thinking. Again, I'm watching out for the zone and those levels right here. So this red zone, we're right in it right now. So any weakness below the weekly open and Bitcoin going below its short-term bearish level would have to make me scale out of both Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe even the full position. So with that being said, guys, I'll see you next week. I'll see you on Monday. Make sure you check our Twitter on Saturday for the update on the COT positioning if you're interested in what the asset managers are doing on a week-to-week basis. And then make sure to subscribe, like the video, share with any friends or family, and I'll see you guys Monday.